Imagine waking up one morning. The city you live in has stood for 1,000 years. Its walls have never been broken. Its armies have never been defeated. Your grandfather lived here. His grandfather lived here. This city is eternal. And then, without warning, everything you knew is gone. No explosion, no warning, no last battle. The greatest empire in human history did not fall with a bang. It fell with a whisper. This is not just a history lesson. This is a warning. Because everything Rome did wrong, the world is doing again. Right now. This is the story of how 1,000 years of power vanished in a single lifetime, and why it should terrify all of us today. At its height in 117 AD, the Roman Empire was breathtaking. It stretched across 5 million square kilometers, covering all of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Over 70 million people lived under Roman rule. Rome itself had over 1 million citizens, making it the largest city on Earth. Roman engineers built roads, aqueducts, and sewers that Europe would not see again for over 1,000 years. Roman law became the foundation of every legal system in the Western world. Rome was not just an empire, it was civilization itself. But by the 3rd century AD, the cracks began to appear. Rome faced a crisis unlike anything it had seen before, the crisis of the 3rd century. In just 50 years, Rome had over 50 different emperors. Most of them were murdered. The government became unstable. The economy collapsed. Inflation destroyed the value of Roman coins. Farmers abandoned their fields. Trade routes broke down, and the borders, once the most defended in the world, started to weaken. Barbarian tribes from the north began raiding Roman territory. The empire was bleeding from 1,000 small wounds. In 285 AD, Emperor Diocletian made a desperate decision. The empire was too big to govern, so he split it in two. The Western Roman Empire would rule from Rome. The Eastern Roman Empire would rule from Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul in Turkey. For a while this worked. The East thrived. Constantinople became one of the richest cities in the world. But the West continued to decline. The split was not a solution. It was a delay of the inevitable. The killing blow came from outside. The Huns, a fierce nomadic people from Central Asia, swept into Europe like a storm. They destroyed everything in their path. Entire Germanic tribes, the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths, were pushed out of their lands and forced into Roman territory. At first, Rome tried to absorb them, but these were not peaceful immigrants. They were desperate, armed, and angry. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. The Visigoths, led by King Alaric, marched into Rome itself, and they sacked it. For the first time in 800 years, the Eternal City fell. The world was shocked. Many Romans believed this was the end of everything. But the barbarians alone did not destroy Rome. Rome destroyed itself. Corruption ate through the government like a cancer. Wealthy senators refused to pay taxes. The military became unreliable, filled with mercenary soldiers who had no loyalty to Rome. The gap between the rich and the poor became enormous. Millions of Roman citizens had fallen into poverty. The once mighty Roman middle class had disappeared. People stopped believing in Rome. They stopped caring if it survived. A civilization does not fall only when its walls are broken. It falls when its people no longer believe in it. The end came quietly. In 476 AD, a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer marched into Ravenna, the last capital of the Western Roman Empire. The last Roman emperor was a boy, a teenager named Romulus Augustulus. Odoacer did not kill him. He simply removed him. No great battle, no dramatic last stand. The Western Roman Empire ended not with a roar, but with a whisper. September 4th, 476 AD. 1,000 years of history. Gone. What came after was called the Dark Ages. And dark they were. Roman roads fell apart. Aqueducts stopped working, cities shrank, population collapsed, literacy rates dropped dramatically. Libraries were destroyed. Knowledge was lost. The average life expectancy fell from 40 years to just 30. Trade networks that had connected the entire Mediterranean world disappeared overnight. Europe fragmented into hundreds of small kingdoms, each fighting for survival. It would take Europe over 500 years to recover what Rome had built. But the story was not completely over. The Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, survived for another 1,000 years. Byzantine scholars preserved the knowledge of ancient Rome and Greece. Their libraries held texts that would later spark the Renaissance. The Eastern Romans kept the flame of civilization alive until 1453, when the Ottoman Turks finally conquered Constantinople. Only then did the last echo of Rome fall silent. So why did Rome fall? The honest answer is everything. Military overstretch, political corruption, economic collapse, a people who lost faith in their own civilization. Rome did not fall because it was weak. It fell because it forgot what made it strong. Every great civilization in history believed it was permanent. None were. Rome's greatest lesson is not how it rose. It is how it fell, slowly, then suddenly, from within. The next time you walk past an old stone building, remember Rome. Because the most dangerous moment for any civilization is when it believes it cannot fall.